All right, Ged, we are live, and after some technical difficulties, I finally have figured out my Walmart internet in the middle of the blizzard that has wiped out Ontario for the day. I think it's the first time schools across the entire province were actually, well, maybe not north, but in southern Ontario anyway, wiped out.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because for those people that have grown up and have children, like, weren't they supposed to go back to school today?
Yes, they were
And,
supposed to, and it did
and
not
then on the first day, there's a snowstorm and like an
did
epic
not happen.
snowstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out and snowblowed, shoveled the driveway tonight, and like we're in Guelph. By no means are we way up in Hoth where you live. And even we had a good foot and change. Like, it was substantial.
Yeah, so not bad. Finally feels like winter. Okay.
Okay,
So Book of Boba.
Book
This
of
is what I
Boba.
want to this is what I want to do for everyone watching. Let's I want to end positively, and I know there's been a lot of, you know, not kind words said about some aspects of this show. So why don't we start? We've seen 3 episodes. I believe it's 7 episodes long. So this episode Wednesday is going to cross us over that halfway mark.
Yep.
So let's maybe talk about some of the negatives, some of the weird stuff that's not really working, and then we'll get into what's really working for us, and then kind of speculate where this series is going to go from here, as well as kind of explore some wild theories and try to predict what's going to happen when this show wraps up.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so let me start with my first main complaint here. Let me do my little focus trick here since I moved.
Oh,
all right.
wow.
Yeah, see that? Magic.
Does that work?
Yeah, you got to focus it on your hand. Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work.
So, how did we get introduced to this show? And the way we got introduced was the season finale of The Mandalorian.
Yep.
Season 2.
Correct.
We see an end credit scene where Boba and Fennec Shan march into Bib Fortuna's palace, murder him in cold blood, throw him off the throne, sits his butt down, and basically Fennec gets the jug of booze out, and they're like, yeah, we are now the new bosses of Tatooine. Flash forward now to the actual series on what we see Boba. Again, Boba armor is present day post Mando season 2.
Correct.
Some people get a little confused with timelines here. We see Boba, who is kind of treating, not that I want him to be a cold killer, murderous, rampage, no feeling type of person, but what we see is someone who's like really treating everyone with kid gloves. You know what I mean? He looks very.
I don't know if I agree.
I don't know. He's like very like, okay, he murders Bib Fortuna, takes the throne, but yet he's bending the knee to the mayor multiple times, and like, every time he's told to do something, he finds a way to positively, I get it. People want more layers of Boba, but I'm just, you set the expectation for the show with that scene. And then so far he, his only kill count in this show is, not including flashbacks, is that one rocket off his wrist launcher in the very first episode. He hits that guy and disintegrates him off the building. Like, it's been very, this guy's causing problems. He goes, talks it out. So,
I'll be honest, man. Yeah. I actually completely disagree with you. And this is kind of good because we haven't really, we really haven't had to have a good debate where we sit on opposite sides. But yeah, you and I disagree as this is a negative thing, and I'll go into my part of it afterwards.
Yeah. So what I want to say is Tamora Morrison as Boba, he's doing a great job acting. It's nothing about him.
Yeah.
For me, it's a little bit of the direction of the character, and like, he almost looks disinterested on this throne. Like, why do I have to have these people come talk to me? Why do I gotta do this? Like, he's almost like, it just, to me, it looks like, buddy, like, you're Boba Fett, a bounty hunter. If you don't want to sit on the Tatooine throne and be the Daimyo or whatever it's called, then just leave. Go do something else. He just, you know what I mean? It just, he doesn't seem vested into his quest quite yet. And like, whether or not his quest is whatever, we'll get into what his actual goals are. But it just, I don't know. For me, something is just a hair off. Love the flashback scenes with Boba. To me, that's Boba. The present day Boba is the one I'm struggling with.
Okay, so I never actually thought I would say this, but I think you're missing the point.
Maybe.
And I never thought I'd say this to you of anything Star Wars, but I think you're totally missing the point. I think that the flashback Boba that you're seeing is someone who's evolving from.
I love flashback Boba though. I love flashback Boba.
No, I get it, and I'm not disputing that he's awesome, but that was who he was. And the Boba that you're seeing now is very much evolved. He lived the majority of his life as a bounty hunter. He makes the reference to the gladiator Wookiee, don't work for Skoogogs or Scoundogs or whatever it was. It's not worth it. So he virtually almost dies in that pit. He gets his armor stripped, and the very last species you could ever imagine take him in, who's the Tuscan Raiders. And I think these flashbacks aren't necessarily just to show his journey there in terms of how he didn't die, but it's really about how he's evolving. He realizes that without this species that nobody would have even given two thoughts to, he would have absolutely perished. He formed a bond with them. We saw that they were taken in the last episode. And what I love about this Boba, which is probably the reason you can't stand him, is his entire outlook is about how does he empower the people around him. So whether it's the two, what are they, the Gamorreans or whatever that were supposed to be killed, they save his life that same episode in the middle of the streets.
See, I'm fine with that though. I'm fine with the Gamorreans. Hold on, though. There's build up his thing. I'm fine with that part.
Right. So then,
the mayor issue is what I'm trying.
Okay. Well, I mean, we will get to the mayor. So then he goes and he gets tribute from Milton from Office Space, which, quite frankly, I thought was the greatest thing in the world. Like, that guy comes and talks about his water, and all I'm waiting for him to say is, "And I will set fire to the building." For this part cyborg gang who's stealing his water, he ends up sparing them, and the former Boba wouldn't have even thought twice. He wouldn't have even waited for them to turn around. He would have disintegrated all of them. Instead, he employs them, and they save his life in the next assassination attempt. I think that there's a very consistent message going on here about like the growth and the transition of Boba, and I think that the mayor and his relationship with the Pikes. And obviously, in the last episode, you see there's Pike interaction, and now there's going to be Pike interaction kind of in the present. I think that you're going to see an interesting moment of actual transition here, because he has not laid waste to the mayor. And that's going to be a very interesting moment when he does catch up with them. But I think, I seriously, man, I think you're missing the point of what the purpose of these flashbacks are. It's not just to tell the story of what happened. It's to tell the story about how he's evolving. Like, I love that he's bringing those people around. Right?
I get that. I get it. And you want to make him more of a character. My issue is just he like I don't know what it is. It's whether it's writing or direct, whatever it is. He just looks indecisive and bored. You know what I mean?
He's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, but 1 second I'm gonna kill Bib Fortuna in cold blood, but now I'm going to like play this political dance with the mayor, and he even says, "I put you in power. Like, I'm the one who empowers you." If he has all that power, and this mayor's message, just like obviously narrative wise, the mayor is doing dirty, and it's going to end up to the point where Boba is going to go get him. I get it. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Things in his character are just a little inconsistent so far for me. But again, the flashbacks are on point. I like the flashbacks. I like the way they're showing, he is a person. He's not just a, faceless bounty hunter. And even then the flashbacks, of him watching Django leave and like how heartbroken he looks in the reflection in the glass and everything like that. So I get it. They're really making him a person.
The name of the gladiator Wookiee, what's his name again?
Black Chrysanthemum.
I have a feeling you are going to see him again.
Yeah. So
there's no way. There's no way.
Let's stick with some more negatives here.
All right.
Quick.
Okay.
My final one, again, my first one, the issues with the Boba, and the second one was like I made a little clip video about this. I put Luca in the scene with the Vespa scooters. I know a lot of when I saw that scene, I was immediately taken out of Star Wars, and it just did not work for me.
What scene is that?
The scooter gang with the brightly colored scooters.
Yeah, the hot rods.
Yeah, let me tell you why it didn't work. Number one, this is Tatooine. It is everything. You look in a 360-degree circle, everything is brown
and dirty,
except for this bright red, brand new scooter, this bright blue, brand new Vespa, this bright green, and so on. Like, to me, they stuck out so badly. It took me, not to mention the final chase scene was just bad. Like,
I'll give you that.
So slow, no tension.
I will give you that.
And then just the aesthetic of the scooter just really, really bothered me. I know it's just one part, but I know we're going to see him again. It bothered me. And like, you know what? And I've heard people say, well, it's a tribute to George Lucas' American Graffiti. He loved, brightly colored hot rods, blah, blah. Cool. Don't put him on Tatooine. No. Stick them on Canobite, stick them on Coruscant, stick them on a different planet, not Tatooine. It makes no sense. Especially
they also look like irons. They look like they were riding floating irons.
Oh, the one has like 8,000 rear view mirrors on it. But like, and also don't give us the sob story at the beginning on how there's no work, they're broke, and they have to steal money to get water, but they all ripping brand new speeders. Maybe
I'll give you that.
Maybe those speeders are the equivalent of, I don't know, a bicycle in the Star Wars universe. So every kid has one, but I don't know. I digress.
Yeah,
did not work.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And I agree. I found the chase scene weak. I didn't find the chase scene weak from a fleeing standpoint. From the mayor's whatever he is, who, by the way, I love as a character. I think he's absolutely hilarious. But the chasing of them on these trike scooters, and even just how they cornered, like there was no flowing of energy at all. They just rotated. It was not well done.
No,
it was not well done.
It was yeah. Did you like that they were cyborg enhanced?
I found it neither here nor there.
Yeah, I wish like they made a big point about how Buddy's eye costs a lot and stuff like that. I wish we would have saw maybe more of it.
Yeah, like does it do anything? I do like the fact that they instantly came to the rescue again and saved his life.
Yeah, well,
but the chase scene was not good.
Yeah, and I guess another thing too is going into the series, right? Lots of people were expecting fan service.
Yeah.
So you're expecting Boba teaming up. Oh, Black Chrysanthemum's here. Yeah, we might get a team up. What about Cad Bane? What about Boss? No, it's going to be the teenage scooter gang and 2 Gamorrean guards.
Yeah, it's basically going to be a political TV show.
Yeah, so like that part, like again, this can all change. We're only 3 episodes in. A lot can change, but that was not so good,
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with all of it except for the broke scooter gang that doesn't have 2 cents to rub together, but they're all cyborg enhanced and they have these brand new bikes. I mean, it almost looks like a tribute to Star Trek, for crying out loud, with the Borgs.
All right, so let's talk about a point here that's good and bad as we transition to the good part of the show.
Okay.
I know you and me have talked on previous reviews. We love the scenes with the Tuscans. We thought we like this, not only the story development with them and the humanizing, yada, 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 but the way Boba has interacted with them and it's kind of won his respect and worked his way up. It's a great vehicle for it. But, we were starting to get, we're now in 3 episodes and we're spending a lot of damn time with the Tuscans. So that was kind of the negative we were about to hit. And now they're abruptly gone. So we never talked last episode. So just quick, what were your thoughts on the abrupt killing of all the Tuscans, like gone?
I never thought, I think the idea was that you actually felt bad for Tuscans perishing. Like I said, the only time we ever saw Tuscans dying was when he slaughtered them all like animals. The women, the children, all of them. They were animals. I slaughtered them like animals. Like, I love that they became relatable. I love that when he came back to this camp, like you felt lost, like you felt bad. This tribe of Tuscans took him in and he tried to do what was right. and that he comes back and they're decimated. I thought it ran its course well. Yes, if it had gone on longer than 3 episodes, I agree. It would have been a little too much dragging. But it makes me really excited for Wednesday.
They serve their
I think
purpose,
he is going to go on a rampage, and that I'm pumped for.
So we'll get back on that little nugget there, but just other things that we like so far. I think the acting, I would say the main actors.
Can we talk about the Rancor and who's the guy that trains the Rancor? Who's been
Danny
in
Trejo. Machete.
He showed up. I'm like, of course it's this guy. That is amazing.
He's the best. So I love. For one, they've nailed the aesthetic of Mos Espa, Jabba's palace. I love the recreation, the detail, all that's top notch. I like that they're bringing back things that make sense. Like the Rancor looked great. Danny Trejo as the Rancor, like you said, is a home run.
Perfect.
Bringing in Black Chrysanthemum as that first big, people who don't read the comics are like, who the F's this guy? But the people who have read stuff, it's a big payoff for them right away, right?
It's awesome.
So they're nailing all that. So let's talk about the main antagonist here is it's actually not the mayor, it's the Pikes. And the way they're setting it up is the Pike Syndicate is actually the villain in both timelines.
Yes.
So let's start with the flashbacks. The Pikes want protection for their spice. And Boba and the Tuscans claim it's now them instead of that speeder gang. And said speeder gang obviously thought they were employed and killed all the Tuscans. So now Boba has to deal with the speeder gang who are hired by the Pikes. So that's kind of his transition in that. And the other thing he still has flashbacks before they wrap up, because I'm assuming they're going to wrap up. We're not going to see those flashbacks all the way till episode 7, I don't think. They're going to have to hit a point where we're full-blown modern, like present day story, right? Or you think we're going to keep seeing them?
No, I think you're still going to see him until either the very end or the second last episode, because I think that there's more story to tell in terms of what happens with the speeder gang. Because the Pikes said, we don't care whether it's you or this other gang. We're just not going to pay 2 people. So I think that the Pikes in the past and the Pikes in the present, there's obviously a reason why they're telling that story. I don't know if you're going to see the end of the flashbacks, because I think there's more to tell. He's, like I said, he's obviously going to go on a rampage, wipe out the speeder gang. But then what happens with the Pikes, and how does that lead up to their
I think we're going to see the resolution of the Pike storyline in this Wednesday. He's going to do that, and it's going to cause a rift with the Pikes, which is going to then cue to all the Pikes have just landed, on Mos Espa, and now when they're all coming out, right, we're going to have the background info of what their tension and conflict was, 4 or 5 years ago. So I think we're going to see that there. And then I think from a main plot standpoint, I think really what this show is going to hang on to is it's really going to be Boba Fett kind of liberating Tatooine, so to speak, right? It's been under Jabba's control forever. The Pikes are fighting for control of Tatooine right now. It's always been crime lord owned, ruled from technically a different world. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think maybe Boba is going to be like, enough with the outworlders, even though he is one of them, who keep trying to rule Tatooine and take their profits. It's going to be Boba's going to own it, or maybe hand it down to someone. I think that's the logical story it's building to, is he's going to defeat the Pikes and get full control of Tatooine. Whether that's in 1-2 episodes or the finale, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know if I see him handing it down.
Well, he would rule Tatooine then. Either way, he's liberating Tatooine from the Pikes. That's going to be the main story.
But
we don't have a lot of episodes to work with, so I don't think they can't go on a whole new jaunt after it. I don't think, anyways. Maybe they could. It's four episodes, I guess.
I mean, that's a lot to conquer. I mean, the Pike Syndicate is gargantuan. We've literally watched it in every property that we love watching.
Yeah.
From, I believe they were in, like, obviously they were in Clone Wars. They were in Rebels. Like, you see these in like everything.
Well, their resources are huge, right? Since they control Kessel and the spice.
Yep.
So they're making a lot of credits off of selling the good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
think
you're going to see an understanding at the end of it.
Yeah. So I know for most people, if that's all it is, some people might be disappointed. Assuming, like, I'm almost at the point now where I don't think we're getting like a Cad Bane cameo with the way the story is shaping up. There's no reason for Boba to contact other bounty hunters to help him. If anything, it makes sense for Boba to call Mando. You know what I mean? Or Bo-Katan, like someone like that to come help him makes more sense based on the events. Maybe we got a boss to come in and help. And like you said, I think Black Chrysanthemum, because Boba saved his life, he's going to pop up just like the Mando things, right? That he saves people, then they all show up for the finale. I think we're going to see him, and that's when we're really going to see Black Chrysanthemum Santi just destroy people.
I would not be. I didn't think about him calling in Bo-Katan and Mando. That'd be a very interesting crossover for the last episode.
Yeah,
interesting.
So,
but this is why I kind of like the series so far. Like, we came in with expectations as to what we were going to see, who we were going to see, and kind of a hope as to how we were going to see it flow. And it really hasn't been that yet. So here we are, almost halfway in, and we're both like, I actually don't know where this is going to go from here.
Yeah, I don't know what the greater stakes for the galaxy is, so to speak, right? Like, is this really just a Tatooine singular Boba story, or will it have impact that kind of resonates through other Star Wars properties, right? And I don't think we know yet if there's going to be a season 2 for Book of Boba. I think it was originally pitched just as hey, Mando season 3 is getting kind of delayed. Here's Boba Fett for a season and tell some stories.
I don't think there needs to be a season 2. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the story well and calling it a day. But I don't think we've seen the last of Boba, no matter what.
Yeah. So here's my thing though. If there for sure is a season 2, this show will be linked to other Star Wars properties, right?
Absolutely.
If it's only a standalone, does it link to, say, Mando or Ahsoka or one of those shows? Because if it's a standalone, they could still do fan service, but it's like standalone fan, like, right? They could be Boss, Cad Bane, they could do stuff like that. Or do they try to connect the universes? And now, saying that, let me run some theories past you here, Gab.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, because I saw your list and I was like, where are you going with this?
All right, so the most recent one, there's actually 2 from the Bad Batch that could work. Okay, so Bad Batch we just saw. Is it a coincidence they introduced Omega, who is basically Boba Fett but female? As you ponder this, just think about this for 1 second. Who did the Kaminoans hire to get Omega back from the Bad Batch?
The same doctor that you said, the same group as you saw in Mando.
Which bounty hunter did they hire to get Omega?
Cad Bane?
Lama Su hired Cad Bane. Who Nama Se hire in secret?
Oh my god, I forget.
Fennec Shand.
That's right.
Who's Boba Fett's right-hand man right now?
Fennec Shand.
So wouldn't
where's the timeline here? So where does Bad Batch sit?
This is like 30 years in the future. Something ridiculous.
So hold on. So we are 30 years ahead of where Bad Batch was?
I don't know if it's actually 30 years. It's Bad Batch is before A New Hope.
Okay. And this is 5 years.
5 years
after.
Post Return of the Jedi.
Oh, post Return of the Jedi.
So it's
20 years.
I think it's 20, 30 years. I think it's in that range.
So then in theory, Omega or Omega, however you want to say it, would be like 30.
She's probably Boba's age.
35.
Boba's age, probably.
Well, she was 12. She was like a preteen, right?
Yeah. But it was like, well.
So if you're 30 years, she's going to be 40 years old.
She's 40 at least. But
I mean,
but just saying, wouldn't Fennec Shan be like, hey, Boba, who now I serve, you know what? Did you know you got a sister?
Who plays Omega? Like, tell you what, if they drop Omega in this thing, I hope it's 5 seasons long. I'd be so intrigued by that.
But again, Omega obviously has a lot going on with her. She has her own storylines with the clones and everything like that. So maybe she's just completely off the grid, off the picture, out of the picture, so to speak. And there's no one for Boba to even be involved with. But it is interesting that they set up Omega.
Yeah, you're right.
Fennec Shan having a relationship, and now we got to show Boba and Fennec Shan.
Yeah,
with the connection between the two of them.
Wait, hold on. Then how old is Fennec Shan? Like 80?
Who knows? Everyone's old in Star Wars. Ahsoka's like ancient.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know what I mean? Like Fennec Shan would look like Betty White at this point.
Yeah. The other thing too is at the end of the Bad Batch, we got kind of the Mount Tantus cloner reveal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we know, because Kamino's wiped out. Boba's having dreams, flashbacks of Kamino. And everything that had to do with Kamino has been moved offsite to Mount Tantus. So I don't know, like, is there for some reason he needs to get back with the cloners? Like, that's it. I'm again, these theories are grabbing at straws of connections that Boba would have to other Star Wars properties. So Omega would be one. The Kaminos on Mount Tantus is another. You know me, like, I would love Mace Windu to come back more than anyone, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. But some people are obviously theorizing that Mace could somehow come back. Maybe in a flashback, a nightmare. I don't know, but I can't see Mace coming back at all.
No, I think that's more just wishful thinking. And don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely on board with it. I think we'd love to know that Mace Windu survived, as proven by the video you launched of that.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
So those are just a couple of things. So how do you think? I think that they got to tie it in somehow to the overall Star Wars universe. How are they going to do that?
I think they're going to do it with this new age run of shows. I think you're going to see it tie back into Mando and Ahsoka. Obviously there's Kenobi as well, but we'll just kind of put that aside for now. Tying it into Mando, Ahsoka's coming back. Ezra Bridgerino has been cast by the kid who played the new Aladdin. You're going to have Admiral Thrawn. I think you're going to see a lot of intermingling between Mando, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Fennec Shan. I think that's how you're going to see it tie in. I don't think you're going to see a season 2 unless they drop an Omega bomb, in which case I'm in, because we all absolutely fell in love with Omega as a character. Yeah. But I think that's where you see it going.
So I just thinking now, I think this is what you could see. Season finale, it's like this epic, like just complete all-out war on Tatooine. Everyone loves it. When things calm down, Boba's like finally has his throne looking all awesome. And then he gets a knock on the big old gate, and like someone comes strolling in, whether it's Mando or Bo-Katan or someone, and says, "Hey Boba, are you for hire?" And like it's like we're going after Thrawn or something like that, or we need you to go get someone in related to Thrawn, or I could just see them doing, just like at the end of Mando was the Easter egg for Book of Boba. I could see them coming to Tatooine and kind of just recruiting him for a job, because right now Boba.
Or do you see a knock on the door with a black robe?
Nah, it's not happening.
It happened at the beginning of Jedi.
Yeah, he's no business there.
Might be helping Ahsoka find Ezra.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the timelines match up. I mean, if we're thinking far-fetched theories, and
they wouldn't burn Luke again in a finale, though. It's not. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think you could literally see once things wrap up, someone coming because Boba's debt's paid to Mando.
Yeah.
Right. The baby got safe. He's done. He looks like he's just crime lord family. I can't help but see someone coming. Hey, we need your help
for an adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mando. I think Mando's the guy to do it.
Yeah. So I think that's maybe that again. I know everyone likes the far out stuff. And because we got Luke last time, everyone's expecting the far out stuff. But I think we're just going to get something a little more subtle, a little more simple, a little more tease to set up, what's down the road.
Yeah, that's fair.
A couple more little things.
Okay.
I was thinking about today, the Boba flashbacks, right?
Yep.
During those flashbacks, do you think we'll see the Death Star destroyed? So let me reset the scene for you. It's right after the sail barge Tatooine Luke leaves, right? I don't know what the timeline is from Luke going to Dagobah, getting his training, and then the conflict in Endor. But are we going to see Boba on, like, say, a Tatooine, and a news feed comes in that the Death Star has been destroyed, the Emperor has been killed, and there's like people partying in the streets and stuff like that?
Maybe.
I think that would be a really, really cool scene. And again, it doesn't even have to be long. It has to be like 10 minutes, 5 minutes of Boba walking the streets. He's in a bar and the news feed comes up and it's, the Emperor.
He's in that place, the bar that he frequents.
Well, no, that's present timeline. It's got to be post.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool. I think just to kind of give that nod.
That's my new theory. I think they love tying little stuff like that in, like timeline wise. It's the movie, that flashback is technically within the arc of Return of the Jedi, right? So I think we could see it happen. I think it'd be really cool just to see the reaction of people around if the Emperor dies, and the stories of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's fair.
Another thing for you. I'm going to share my screen here, and I had this thought too while watching this episode. So listen to this clip right here.
Do you believe what the Hutt said?
I have no reason to believe them. They would benefit from their enemies fighting one another.
I'll arrange a meeting with the mayor.
All right. So first off, the Hutts came to call the truce, right?
Yeah.
And left him a gift / Trojan horse.
Yeah.
And then tie that section in with this part right here.
Don't worry. She'll be back.
Now, is it just like, don't worry, your master will come back for you to imprint on? Or do you think it's like, don't worry, dinner will be coming back?
No.
No?
No. The real thing is, are you going to see him relive the Witches of Dathomir and ride a Rancor? That'd be very Dune.
I think 100% he's going to ride the Rancor, but I think the Rancor is going to try to kill him first because, hey, Danny Trejo's that Rancor's master, not Boba, as much as Boba likes to think. I think Danny Trejo's hired by the Hutts to potentially, when the time is right, wipe out Boba with his own pet, because Boba's going to let his guard down. But Boba is going to survive, and I don't think Danny Trejo is going to be long to survive.
No.
I think Boba may feast the Rancor on him, and then Boba will then become the Rancor's owner and ride it, because Robert Rodriguez has been promising like insane stuff, and Boba riding a Rancor shooting rock throwers and stuff like that would fit.
That would qualify. Yeah,
I think that'd qualify.
Yeah, that'd qualify.
Yeah.
All
right. So I think that's my long-winded talk on Boba. So I guess overall, I think the show's fine. I think depending on these last 4 episodes it could be great. But so far, I think of what we've seen so far, I think it's just a tier below Mando. for me.
Yes. I agree. It is not the Mandalorian
on the level of Mando.
The only thing that's even going to come close to Mando is going to be the anticipation for Ahsoka.
Well, Kenobi says I have the high ground.
But I don't think the plan was never to have it be Mando. The plan was really to give homage and fan service to this incredibly infamous character that tripped off a speeder and fell into a pit, like really anticlimactic.
Blind Han Solo got him.
And I think they've done that well. It's not what we thought it would be, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with it. Other than the silly, stupid tricycles that look like irons, so far I'm all on board with where this thing has gone.
And you know what I think? Again, this is my problem with some of the sequel trilogy, and it comes back to just fan expectations.
Yeah,
like comments made by people in the know of the shows, creating the show, stuff like that, and also what fans build up in their mind. Like Boba coming back to life and is a big deal, and you had a whole EU crazy arc. His little tease in Mando was how many stormtroopers that guy kills single-handedly, like a bunch of the gaffy stick. He armors up, like such an incredible all-out balls to the wall scene. I think people were expecting kind of that for a little short series, and they kind of haven't got that. And again, it's not necessarily the show's fault or the direction's fault or the writing's fault. It's again fans' expectations of what they thought they were going to get.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is it's a terrible thing. It's always going to exist with Star Wars. Like people want everything. Everyone has an idea of what should be happening on the screen. Everyone's an expert, and everyone wants what they want. And when they don't get it, people are spoiled. We're getting new Star Wars. Everyone should be happy about it, but sometimes it's not good enough.
I agree. I absolutely agree. So I will see you Wednesday morning.
Wednesday. Maybe you'll wake up on time.
I will wake up on time. I will not stay up late editing my own selfish material, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but it came out part 1 and 2 of the build up at your place. Yeah. And then part 3 will come out, I would assume Wednesday.
I've seen the teasers both on Facebook. I haven't sat down and watched them yet, but I will.
They're quick. They're 5 or 6 minutes each. Thought I'd break them up into something easily digestible.
Oh yeah, I'll drop a big fat like in there, comments.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries, bud. All right, we will we'll do this again on Wednesday, and
I will see you Wednesday morning.
We're gonna have a pretty excited talk. So,
I agree with you. All right, pal.
All right, peace out.
Cheers.